Hey everyone, just back for a quick review, if you will. I'm not going to go too much into details, but I haven't seen that many videos on the internet about this figure. Not in English anyway. There's a few. Well, there's one in Japanese, I think, and a few in Chinese, but not in English. Not that I know of. Anyway, so this is a figure from a company. From a Chinese company, and it's a line called Metal Saga. It's the first release in that line. I don't know if they've done any other toys before. I tried to research it, but I couldn't find anything. I did contact the person who sold it to me, which are a big, not a big, but like a retail shops or whatever in China. Really not knowledgeable guy, but he didn't seem to know either. As I said, no websites or anything like that, so I can't tell you much more about the figure, about the company, I mean, sorry. This is a RTX-008 Vanishing Trooper. It looks, as you can probably see, it looks a lot like a Gundam. But it isn't. It's not a Gundam. It has, you know, the kind of trademark head spikes and everything else, really. But it's actually from Super Robot Wars. So anyone who knows Super Robot Wars, well, you'll know the character. It's got Huckabine. Yeah, the same designer as Gundam, so that's probably why, again, it looks like a Gundam. Anyway, so the basic of the figure, as the name suggests, Metal Saga, the very obvious comparison with Metal Build, which is essentially what this is. This is a Metal Build, really. It's exactly the same principle as a Metal Build. So for those who don't know, Metal Build, it's like, it's not exactly metal. The figure itself is plastic, but all the main joints, like the shoulders, like the elbows, like the legs, the knee articulation, everything, as you can see, is metal die-cast, and then the armor is built on top of this. So yeah, that's pretty much the name, Metal Build, or Metal Saga in this case. There's two versions of this figure. There were two, not prints, but two releases. So the first, I don't know how many thousand they did. I don't know how many they did, to be fair. The first batch had issues. They had joint issues, it had problem with the hands, it had a fair amount of things. The second version fixed a lot of these things, and this is the second one, by the way. It's fairly difficult to actually tell, with, you know, aside from the wiggling and very floppy everything. That's the only way you'll know whether you've got a second one or first one, because I've seen a few on you know, on the internet, and well, you know, there's nothing to say it's a second one. I've looked on the box, you know, there's a lot of blah blah blah, but there's nothing to say second or first or a sticker or something. I don't know. I don't read Japanese. I don't read Chinese, so I do not know. But anyway, this is the second release, which fixed a lot of the issues. It comes with loads of accessories. I'll start with some weapons. It comes with a nice rifle thing. Again, the finish is really cool. The paint is fantastic. Paint apps, you got like loads of tempo prints, very nice and sharp tempo print. It's got a nice feel to it. It's not all glossy, but its quality is good. I mean, it doesn't feel cheap. Honestly, it doesn't feel cheap. So that's the one of the rifle. It's got the scope thing that can be removed and actually slot into the black hole beam thingy midget, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the black hole thingy. So it has a few, not gimmicks, but yeah, it can extend. Whoops, sorry, it can extend that way, and it also retracts and extends the main cannon. It has like the handles are on a sort of articulated thing, so you can fold it back. If you don't want to use the gun, you can just fold that back, and then that separates into this, which doesn't really have any use. I guess you could use the gun without if you wanted. If you didn't want these pieces, you could use the gun without, but it doesn't look as impressive when it doesn't have these pieces on it. Sorry, I'm finding it really difficult to attach this back on camera. That's it. And that, and lock it in. There you go. So this is huge, actually. If you compare it to the actual robot itself, it's taller than the it's taller than the robot. So that's one thing. This is one of the accessories. It also comes with some lightsabers. Well, beams or whatever Gundam uses. You have two different blade attachments. You have this one, which has the effect, the fire, or whatever it's called, effect, or you have the more traditional, just a purple stick, if you will. So that's a nice touch to have both. You know, if you wanted to have, it looks more dynamic to have it like that. Very neat. It also, it also comes with, so this is like a thing that he fires, from what I gathered. It's like a metal disc, and he freeze and it turns into like a fire thing. So that is held with a metal, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, it's like a sort of like metal tube thing, so you can pose it whichever way you want to achieve, again, more dynamic poses. Personally, I don't really like it that much. It looks a bit plastic and a bit cheap, and the tube looks a bit thick, to be fair. You know, it's very obvious, very thick, but you know, it's a nice addition. Any extras, not gonna say no. It also comes with a holding little stand to hold the gun, because the gun is huge. So if you want the robot to hold it like this, you're gonna have to have something here, otherwise it's gonna droop. So it comes with that, and also it comes with a display stand, which is a really nice functional display stand. I'll just move it a bit. It has a name on it. It has the hole to put this on it. It can, it does pretty much, you know, what you expect from display stands. I mean, these pieces can extend, you can lock them, and you can rotate it forward or backward. It doesn't really turn or swivels, but you know, it's not bad. You can do some pretty cool aerial poses with it. So that's pretty much all the stuff it comes with. Oh no, I forgot. It also has all the usual fists and hands. So you've got the gun holding one. You've got there's two types of trigger thingies. You got ones for the beam sabers. You've got what do you call it? You know, like poses, more dynamic, if you will, looks, and you also have just plain fists. So yeah, very good in terms of fists. There's you know, more than enough fist there to keep you happy. So that's the accessories and stuff. As far as the figure itself, it's really well articulated. I'm not going to spend 10 hours articulating the thing. I know some people really love it when you go, oh, it goes 360 degree and this and that and the other. Sorry, you know, I just don't really like it. But it is well articulated. It's, it has really cool feature, like such as his backpack. The backpack is really neat. You can see the wings is really well made. It has loads of little features like articulation, like these little wings that closes down, that kind of move that way or that way, and that, and it also, like, you can open it up to make it look more, well, whichever, you know, more dynamic, or take it off completely if you don't want it. So there you have it with the thing extended, completely extended. Really nice. It has a lot of fine details and tempo prints and stuff. Very nice. I mean, all over. This is one of the issues I had with the figure when I first got it. Some of the tempo print had little splatters, if you will, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, not the end of the world to remove. But if you're not into modeling and don't have the tools, and then you end up with loads of little dots of paint everywhere, it can be a bit of a pain, but whatever. Just, yeah, this was with my this particular one. You know, I don't know if it's like that with all of them or not, but anyway, it's not the end of the world. The only thing that's a bit annoying is at the back. I'm gonna try and do it that way. At the back of the wrist there's a sort of space to actually clip in. Okay, it's the other way around, but it doesn't, you know, I've got the blade attached up, but that's supposed to, the saber's supposed to clip in there, but it doesn't. It just doesn't fit whatsoever. It's really annoying. The handle is kind of sort of soft rubber, but it's not soft enough to be able to be squashed into that. So that's, yeah, just a bit of a shame. But once again, it's not a deal breaker. It's not the end of the world. The main issue I had with mine was the waist swivel. The waist swivel was really loose. It's actually you've got the waist swivel, and below that you have a sort of another plate with the side skirt attached, and that plate moves separate to the waist swivel. So you've got two plates, well, not two plates, but you've got waist, plate and legs, and it just made the whole thing very loose. I mean, not difficult to fix again. It's not the end of the world, and seriously, it's worth it for the price you pay. I mean, a few issues here and there, no problems, I can cope with, you know. On other figures from other companies, I'm not going to say names, you know, but when you get stuff like that, and you pay $500 or whatever, how much you pay for the figures, is unforgivable. But anyway, this one, very nice. So yeah, in all, I'm really happy with this figure. It's fantastic. Seriously, for the price, I would highly recommend it to any metal build fans, any Gundam fans, and especially Super Robot Wars fans. So try and pick it up. Hopefully we will get more, you know, more figures in this line. I'd love to see more Super Robot Wars figures, because yeah, Gundam is great, but there's not enough Super Robot Wars figures, especially not metal build type figures on the market. So that would be fantastic if actually they will continue the line. I would love that so much. So yeah, fantastic. Honestly, it has, as I said, it has like little issues and little stuff, like, but nothing, no deal breaker. You know, and you can't go wrong with the price. You can't go wrong. Just try and pick up, if you can, try and pick up the second version, which fixes all the joint issues and stuff, and that's it. Anyway, hope it was you know, useful or whatever, and I'll see you on the next review or next video. Thanks for watching.